Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this cute dinosaur. So I've started off with some Saraceno and I've just coloured it with some jade, sugar flare gel colour. And so we're going to make the body all from one piece of fondant. So I'm just kneading it to make sure that it's smooth and it's going to be quite flexible. And we're going to roll it into sort of like a fat sausage. We're just going to taper off the end. And this is going to be our tail, so it needs to be quite pointy but not too long. We just want it to wrap around a little bit. So you can see I'm just standing it up just to sort of wrap it round in quite a natural way rather than me just pushing and pulling. And then we're just going to twist about halfway up the body and we're just going to start to make the space for the head. Now the head doesn't fully twist all the way, we just kind of want to bend it slightly. So you can see I'm just using my desk to flatten off the top of the head there and just rubbing my hands over it and sort of twisting it just between my hands just to get the shape that I want. I want the belly to protrude a little bit as well. So you can see I've just pinched out the area there and just making the tail a little bit thinner on the end and slightly more curlier as well. And I'm just smoothing over the whole thing. So it's a bit 2D, this dinosaur. We're going to do the eyes. So we want one eye to be a little bit bigger than the other. And I'm just creating those indentations with the ball tool. And then with my scriber needle, I'm just going to go in and create a little bit of a smile. And then with my leafing tool, I'm just going to flatten off that smile underneath. That's going to create the space for the teeth. Now with some black fondant, I'm just going in with with my scalpel and I'm just cutting it in half until they're quite small, and this is going to create our nostrils. And I'm just going to stick these on just with a tiny little bit of water and just pick them up with the brush and just pop them on to where you want it. Now I've kind of made these blobs a little bit oval as well. Next we're going to take some white Saraceno and we're going to do a couple of things with this. We're going to make the tummy for the dinosaur, we're going to make the eyes, and we're going to make the teeth. So for the tummy, I'm just going to roll kind of like a tablet shape that's slightly smaller at one side than the other, and then I'm just flattening it with my fingers and just softening the edges. It doesn't have to be too neat, this. This is just going to be the part that we stick on the belly. And you will need a knife just to pick that up off the mat. And I'm just going to plonk that on. Now, you shouldn't need any water to stick this together at this point. And then we're just going to do two circles for the eyes. Remember, one is bigger than the other. And so we're just going to push those in like so. And again, no water needed for that. And then I'm just going to mark where I want the blacks of the eyes to go. Now for this one, I'm doing him sort of like looking down into the back of himself. And we're just going to fill those with two black circles. And I'm just using my ball tool just to flatten those down a little bit. Like so. And then just decided I wanted that one to be a little bit bigger, so I'm just popping over some extra black and then some tiny white dots just for the light reflector in the eye. And then I've rolled out some white fondant quite thin, and I'm just going to cut out some triangles, and these are going to be just for the teeth. Now I prefer to cut them slightly too big and then be able to cut them down, and I'm going for the middle tooth to be the smallest one, and then the other two to be just slightly bigger, all kind of different triangular shapes. So we'll put the middle one in first and just pushing that in place with your Dresden tool, and then add the next one on, and then add the next one on, and just pushing it in with your brush just to get it where you want it to go. And next we're going to do some little eyebrows. So I've just got some black and I've rolled it quite thin, and I'm just going to chop that in half, and we're just going to give this dinosaur some little eyebrows. Now we can make all sorts of different expressions with the eyebrows. These ones I'm going to curl a little bit just to either side, and I'm just using a very little bit of water just to stick it on there, and just curling down the edges like that. Next we're going to do the spine, the spikes on the spine. So I've cut some fondant out that I've coloured in sort of like a mustardy colour, and as you can see I've chopped it so that it's thinner at one side than it is at the other, and I'm just going to go along and cut out my triangles. And because I've already shaped it so it's thinner at one side than it is the other, I don't have to worry about making the triangles necessarily smaller, because I've kind of like done that job for myself anyway, that they'll gradually just get thinner and thinner. And so you're just going to carry on cutting all the way down to the end, and then we're just going to use a tiny little bit of water just to stick this to the dinosaur's back. So you can see that's where I'm wanting it to go, like that. Again, just a little bit of water, just push it into place. It shouldn't need anything to support it. Next we're going to move on to the arms. So roll one long sausage, and we're going to cut off some two pieces that are roughly the same size. We're going to flatten one side for the hand, and then you can see I'm just rolling it between my middle finger and my thumb, and I'm just creating that bit of the hand that's now separated from the wrist area. And then we're just going to go in and cut some triangles out of the top to make it look more like a claw. So I just take two out on both hands and just round off the tops a little bit, and just re-go over the wrist area if you feel it's needed. I'm going to cut off at a bit of an angle so that I can make sure that when I stick it onto the body it kind of joins quite nicely, rather than having a big bulk at one end. So we're going to put one on the front of the dinosaur, just above the belly, and then we're going to put one at the back of the other side of the dinosaur, like so. Next we're going to do the feet. So I'm going to do some same method as before. So the sausage, we're going to cut off two pieces that are similar, cut them off at an angle, and we're going to roll out some teardrops which we're going to flatten. These are going to form the feet, the other pieces would form the leg. I've got some white fondant and I've cut out some triangles out of this as well. These are going to be used just for the fingernails or claws or whatever on the dinosaur's feet. So they only need to be quite small, nothing too big for this bit. And we're just going to use our paintbrush to attach that to the end of the foot. Now, because I've rolled these quite thin, they shouldn't need much support. They should just be able to hold themselves up. And obviously once it's dry, it'll become a lot firmer. So you could always change the colour of the dinosaur to purple or like a dusky pink for a girl's cake. And once we've done that, we're going to stick on our legs. So you can see I'm putting the angled side on first, like so, and then just dampening the end, and we're going to stick our foot on. So I'm just putting it down so that I can attach it properly. Oh, fell over. Now because this is resting against the cake, I never put any internal supports in it. If you wanted, you could use a kebab skewer or a cocktail stick just to give it something that was going to anchor it into the cake. And then I've got some black sugar flare gel, and I'm just going to create a zigzag effect, a bit messy on the front of the dinosaur's belly, and then just some little lines and circles just along the spine area. Just again a little bit of decoration to match the balloons. So here's the finished cake. I do have a tutorial for the other dinosaur already as well on my channel. I would really appreciate if you guys let me know what else it is that you would like to see. And if you've enjoyed today's video, please give a thumbs up and a share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.